This is part one of a three-part video series that covers PDA, Pathological Demand Avoidance in Autistic Adults. In this video, I will explain what PDA is, provide a brief history of PDA, explain what PDA is sometimes misdiagnosed as, and share 8 characteristics of PDA, Pathological Demand Avoidance in Autistic Adults. So let's get started. Hey, Define Yourselfers, I am Chris Mitchell, aka The Confident Autistic from theconfidentautistic.com. If this is your first time watching a video of mine, welcome. I truly appreciate you checking out this video. I am an autistic adult, late diagnosed, a multi-certified life coach, and an advocate for autistic adults who is on a mission to empower you to embrace autism confidently. This video is brought to you by all those who support my mission by subscribing to my channel, along with those who have liked, commented, and shared my videos. I thank you for your continued support, and I invite you to show your support now by liking and sharing this video, along with subscribing to the channel. And when you subscribe, do not forget to click on the bell to be notified when new videos are posted and when I go live with a weekly Q&A live stream. The term PDA, which stands for Pathological Demand Avoidance, was coined by British psychologist Elizabeth Newson in the 1980s. She first used the term in a published research paper in 2003. PDA is a behavioral phenotype of autism spectrum disorder that is characterized by an intense need to avoid demand. More specifically, PDA is a condition where people have an obsessive need to resist or avoid everyday demands and requests. People with PDA may use a variety of strategies to avoid demands, such as distraction, procrastination, or socially shocking behavior. PDA is not exclusive to autistic people, but is more commonly associated with autism. In autism, PDA presents as an extreme resistance to everyday demands. PDA is often driven by anxiety, which is very common for many of us on the spectrum, including myself. And PDA is driven by the fear of losing control. This is something else I do struggle with in my life. I don't like talking about it that much, a little bit embarrassed about it, but if I'm going to really embrace autism, I got to talk about it. So I do have some issues of losing control. It's something that I fear. Now, people with PDA may have a fight, flight, or freeze reaction when faced with demands that challenge our independence or their independence. PDA may cause procrastination, difficulties following routines, and strong emotional reactions to seemingly simple requests. If you are an autistic individual with PDA, you may utilize various strategies, including distraction, negotiation, excuses, and even meltdowns to avoid doing what is asked, even if you are capable of completing the task that you were requested to do. Now, PDA may appear as a strong need for control and a dislike of feeling pressured. Now, there are 8 key characteristics of PDA in autism, and the first is extreme demand avoidance. Now, there are 8 key characteristics to PDA in autism, and the first is extreme demand avoidance. Extreme demand avoidance is a strong aversion to any perceived demands, including simple requests like getting dressed, brushing our teeth, or completing household chores. Autistics with PDA may appear very friendly and engaging in social situations, but we are actively avoiding underlying demand through charming or manipulative behaviors. Yes, I hate to admit it, that some of us who are on the spectrum, if we battle PDA, I don't think we do this intentionally, we'll try to manipulate situations so we can get out of having to do things because we feel we're being demanded to do something. And personally, I think this comes from the fact that we feel we're always under pressure to fulfill the expectations of holistics and to compete with holistics and to mask. That's just my personal theory. I don't have any scientific proof on that, but just that's my thought. Love to hear your thoughts on that matter. Share them in the comment section. Controlled seeking behavior. Autistics with PDA may exhibit a strong need to be in control of situations and resist any attempt to direct them. Distraction techniques. Using clever tactics like changing the topic, making excuses, or causing disruptions to avoid complying with requests is another tactic that may be used by autistics with PDA. Role playing and fantasy. Many autistics with PDA may engage in elaborate pretend play or withdraw into fantasy worlds to escape demands. Now, I've never been officially diagnosed with PDA, and although I do suspect that may be part of my autism profile, because I do know there are times, okay, a lot of times that I like to engage in elaborate pretend play. I still do as an adult. I like to get away and just do that pretend play with fantasy worlds, and I do that to escape demands, and I also do that um, maybe not so much to escape demands, but I know I do this also to help self-regulate when I feel very anxious or stressed out. Do any of you do that? Do anyone out there who's watching this video um, engage in elaborate pretend play or withdraw into fantasy worlds to escape demands or to self-regulate? Let me know. I'm sure I'm not the only person who does that. Go ahead and share that in the video comments. 3, 2, 1. When experiencing PDA, autistics can experience intense emotional outbursts or shutdowns when faced with perceived pressure or demands. And that's one of the signs when we start seeing that in ourselves, we know that we may be struggling with PDA. And it's a sign that lets us know this is going on. And we need to take notes of that and pay attention to those things. And I'll show why in another video in this series. Autistics with PDA may react suddenly and or unexpectedly to perceived demands. And this can be a very impulsive behavior by us. If somebody gives me a demand or wants me to do something, I impulsively react. I know I do. I'm especially for me when my routine gets messed up or interrupted. I I could be going into the kitchen. I'm going to do these 4 things, A, B, C, D, right? And I'm in the kitchen. My wife will say, "Oh, can you bring me something to drink?" And I love my wife. I do. But I have to fight the resistance because I know I do this. The impulse, that is, I got to fight the impulse to tell her, I don't want to do that. Because I know that I love my wife. I want to take care of my wife. She's taking care of me so much. I want to do the same. But that's part of my resistance to that. It's a perceived demand. Actually, she's just requesting it, but I perceive it as a demand and an intrusion to my planned routine. And I can impulsively react to that and say something blunt that I don't really mean, but I just do that out of impulse because I got distracted, I got interrupted. I now have a new demand on me from my time, and I already have some other stuff done, a plan to do that I need to get done in that amount of time, and that's my reaction to it. Is that part of PDA? I don't know for sure, but that is one of the things I experience in my life. 6-foot PDA may become very skilled at using persuasive tactics to avoid doing what is asked. Now, again, this kind of goes back to us manipulating conversations so we can get out of doing things. And it's not that we're lazy, okay? We just feel like, this is my opinion, we just feel like we don't have all that control in our lives. We're battling emotions at times. We're battling, expectations that people have on us. We're battling knowing that holistics like eye contact and we don't. We're struggling with trying to understand things like friendships and relationships and all. And then somebody asks us to do something, which may be a simple request, but we see it as another demand that is bothering us, and we try to get out of those demands because we have so many demands on ourselves now from ourselves and from society, and we don't need another one. So we try to do that. We're not trying to manipulate people. We're not trying to do anything like that, or be deceiving, or disrespectful. We're just saying we have so many demands in our life from ourselves and from our society. We don't want another one. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's how I see this, and why some of us struggle with PDA. Remember, any autistic person with PDA may not exhibit all 8 key characteristics I've shared in this video. It is important for you to know that while exact figures are difficult to pinpoint due to limited research, studies suggest that PDA is considered a minority presentation within the autistic population, with estimates indicating that around 1 in 5, that's 20% of the autistic community, may exhibit significant PDA characteristics, especially in childhood. Though the prevalence of PDA may decrease in adulthood as diagnostic criteria may not fully apply in later life. Also, PDA is often misdiagnosed as ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder, due to the outward resistance to demands, often leading to inappropriate responses by those of us on the spectrum. Now it's your turn. Share your thoughts on PDA in the comments on this video, or join the conversation right now in our Facebook group, Autistic Adults Embracing Autism. A link to that group, as well as directions on how you can get a free resource from my website, is in this video description. Just scroll down to the section that reads resource links for more information. Be sure to look for the next video in this series, entitled 8 Ways PDA Impacts the Lives of Autistic Adults, followed by the third video of the 3-part series, entitled 9 Ways to Manage PDA as an Autistic Adult. These videos and more are found right here on my YouTube channel. Now it's your turn. Share your thoughts on PDA in the comments on this video, or join the conversation right now in our Facebook group, Autistic Adults Embracing Autism. A link to that group, as well as directions on how you can get a free resource from my website, is in this video description. Just scroll down to the section that reads resource links for more information. Now, I want you to know that I may not be able to respond to every single comment, but I do read each and every one of them, and I appreciate your commenting and engaging in conversations on these videos. And if you have an idea for a future topic, share it with me. Who knows? I could use that idea and make a great video that you and others will enjoy. So this is the Confident Autistic, reminding you that now is the time for you to embrace autism confidently. Join me live Thursday nights for the Confident Autistic Live, where I answer your questions, we discuss this week's videos, offer support, and more. The fun starts Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time in the US of A. Be sure to click the bell when you subscribe to the channel to be notified when the party begins.